Would I like Morelia, Mexico? Would I like Mazatlán, Mexico? Hi, broadcasting not live from Morelia, Mexico. I'm Bill the Geek. This is the Bill Dallas Lewis channel, and we make videos about the joys of living in Mexico. If you answered yes to one or both of those questions, this is the video you want to see. I travel all over Mexico, and there are so many great places I have yet to see. It seems like every month I visit somewhere and I fall in love with that place, and I tell myself, I could live here. That happened to me in Mazatlán and Morelia. The first time I visited Mazatlán, I fell in love. I was there for a week and I just really enjoyed it. The first time I went to Morelia, I fell in love. I totally enjoyed it. I'm going to share with you why I fell in love with both. And I'm going to share with you, after living in Mazatlán for 2 years, why I moved to Morelia. At the very end of this video, I'm going to share with you the cost of living for rentals, and I'm going to compare them side by side. You really want to see the cost differentials. Maybe you've never heard of Mazatlán. Maybe you've never heard of Morelia. Let's look at the map so you can see where both of them are located. You can see Mazatlán at the very top of the map. It's right on the ocean, about 4.5 hours north of Puerto Vallarta. And Morelia, you can see it is in the middle of the map, to the east of Guadalajara, about 3.5 hours. Let's zoom in on the Morelia area. There's so much in the middle of Mexico. You're real close to Mexico City, Guanajuato, and Morelia is surrounded by 9 Pueblo Magicas, that's called magical cities. When I first started making YouTube videos years ago, I was making a video about Ajijic. I was walking around interviewing owners of the little businesses in Ajijic, and that's when I met Robert. Robert owns a store called Wilds right near the plaza in Ajijic. It's a dildo shop. I did an interview with him. I gave him my business card, said goodbye, and then made the video. 6 months later, I got a phone call. It was Robert. Robert says, I own a bed and breakfast in Mazatlán, and we do a tour. We leave from Ajijic to go to Mazatlán, stay at my bed and breakfast. I show you all around, and if you come with us, you can come for free if you shoot the video and share with the world how fun our tour is. I thought to myself, cool beans, let's go. About 16 of us loaded up in a van in Ajijic, and we got in with Robert and we went on a 6-hour drive to Mazatlán. Hours later, we pull up in front of Reina del Mar bed and breakfast right smack dab in the middle of El Centro. Reina del Mar bed and breakfast was fabulous inside, and it was half a block away from the Malecón. That's like a boardwalk that goes more than 6-7 miles up the ocean, all kinds of bars and restaurants. You're looking at the ocean, and Rob's place was a half block away from this, and it was beautiful. Rob walked us through El Centro each and every day. He took us to beaches, museums, the plaza in El Centro. We ate fresh seafood. Sometimes we had ribs. And then we'd go back to the bed and breakfast and have cocktails at this little swimming pool right in El Centro. I was in love. 1 year later, I moved there. Leave a comment. Tell us what you think. And if you like the video, click the like button. And if you know somebody thinking about moving to Mexico, click the share button. I got an apartment about 10 minutes from El Centro. It's in a suburb of Mazatlán. They call suburbs colonias. colonias in Mexico, and this one was called Sabalo Country. I moved into a 7-story high rise. It was beautiful. It was 3 blocks from the ocean. It had a beautiful swimming pool, and it was very nice accommodations. And I had a partial view of the ocean. The thing is, there were 400 other people living in the high rise, and what I didn't know when I moved in is I was the youngest one of the 400 people. And of the 400 people that were there, 99% were Canadians. I'd never met so many Canadians in my freaking life. Ends up, Canadians have been visiting Mazatlán before Jesus was born. The pool was filled with Canadians every day, and that was really something. All of them were older than me. There were many bars blocks away, and they would be filled with Canadians listening to country western music, and all of them were older than me. But then every April, actually April 15th, all of the Canadians would disappear. Why? Because from April to November every year, Mazatlán is hot and humid as hell. And Canadians are very smart. They get the hell out of Mazatlán. But tell you what, after meeting so many Canadians, I fell in love with each and every one of them. They all treated me with great respect, and I had a great time with them. We have a new Facebook group. It's called Mexico Expats Bill Dallas Lewis. There's a link in the description below. About 2 years into my YouTube experience, I heard about Morelia by accident. Something told me I should go there. I'd never heard of it before. So I booked a $27 hotel room a night, 7 blocks from El Centro, and off I went. I arrived in Morelia on August 25th. When I left Mazatlán that day on the 25th of August, it was hot and humid as hell. When I left my hotel room in Morelia that morning at 7:30 to go shoot videos, I left the hotel in a t-shirt. But then it was chilly outside. I had to go back to my hotel room and get 3 hoodies so I could be warm enough to shoot some video. There was 0 humidity and the air was very clean. I walked 7 beautiful blocks through architectural structures from like 500-600 years ago, put up the drone, shot some video, and I looked around and something hit me. No Canadians, no Americans, only Mexicans. Having had put up the drone, shooting some videos, I walked around the plaza and I found a seat. And I just sat there on the plaza, people watching all these wonderful Mexicans just for 2 hours. All of a sudden this voice came to me and it said, "Self, you could live here." I love Morelia. I've been here for about 5 months now at the time that I'm shooting this video. My rent went down $400 a month for a bigger and better apartment. Mazatlán and Morelia are both wonderful world-class cities. They both are filled with many, many colleges, many educated people, and both have internationally known businesses headquartered in their cities. I stay in Mexico year-round, so for me, Morelia is a much better bet than Mazatlán because it's nice and cool in the winter and nice and cool and warm and not humid year-round. For me, Morelia is perfect. I've lived in Puerto Vallarta, Guadalajara, Chapala, Ajijic, Arenal, Mazatlán, and now Morelia, and San Luis Potosi. If you want to live in Mexico with large numbers of Canadians and Americans who many of them don't speak any Spanish, and you want to be with them all day and all night in the bars and in the restaurants all the time, well then maybe Mazatlán is for you. I met many Americans and Canadians in Mazatlán that speak zero Spanish, and they've lived there for decades. If you want to live in Mexico year round and you love heat and humidity, maybe Mazatlán is for you. So there are a lot of groups in Mazatlán you can join. There are many groups you can join in Morelia. I've never been a group person. I'm just me. I go around and make videos, and I'm not very social. I just kind of stay to myself. I love Morelia also because of its geographic location. I'm about 2 hours away from 30 different cities and towns. I can go to Guanajuato, León, Mexico City's about 3 hours away. Morelia has 9 pueblos mágicos, that's magical cities. I can visit a new place within an hour and a half every week for about a year. That is certainly not the case in Mazatlán. We're all different. We all like what we like. I visit many small towns and cities. I could live in many of these cities. For now, I have chosen to live in Morelia, and I'm very happy here. Let's do some very factual comparisons about rental cost in Morelia versus Mazatlán. Now, these prices are dated November 12th, 2024. And as of today, the peso is at an all-time low. So you can see in Mazatlán, for a 2-bedroom, 2-bath, fully furnished apartment, it's going to cost you somewhere between about $500 and $1,200 a month. In Morelia, it's going to cost you about $430 to $970 a month. Now, I would think that the higher prices on the high end, those are 2-bedroom, 2-bathroom, fully furnished in El Centro. And I strongly suggest, if you're going to live in Mazatlán, that you live in El Centro and in Morelia also. But you can see that to live in El Centro in Morelia versus Mazatlán, you save about $300 a month. We go live every Saturday at 10 a.m. Central Time. Join us, have some fun. Click that subscribe button so you get a notification and you can ask all the questions you want about the joys of living in Mexico. Thank you so much for joining us today. There are so many fabulous places to live in Mexico. Just come down and look around. Mazatlán is a great place. Morelia is a great place. Everybody likes what they like, so visit and experience them both and see which would be best for you. We have many more videos to come. Click that subscribe button and we'll see you in the next video.